Right. That looks like it's working. Blues. And the Reds. The battle of the two teams with colours in their names. Anzac Day. How's everybody doing? Game is still, I would say, 10 minutes or so away. They're going to do the kind of Anzac Day pre-match, like moment of silence and tribute and all that kind of stuff. How is everybody doing? Who are you picking for this one? There will sadly be no messages from Gaza at halftime, as he will not be staying up. It's a bit past his bedtime. But yeah, hope you guys are all having a happy Anzac Day wherever you're at. And let me just adjust this while I remember. Interact, scroll. Go away. Why is that thing there? I don't want to watch the Lomu Lost tapes on Rugby Pass. Okay. Anyway, give me a second. What was I saying? There we go. Now I can get rid of it. The one there. There we go. Right. Distractions done. Darren Mundy says, up the Reds. Novmum is happy for your Chiefs. Chiefs are a hard team to beat in the second half, Novmum. Very hard team to beat in the second half. Gold-blooded rugby is hoping the Reds win. Well, I kind of hope you guys lose to keep my team's season alive, but we'll see. It should be a good game. Ricky says, hola, hola. Good morning from Argentina. Greetings. How's it going, Ricky? How's things going in Argentina? Could we get a distracted sports review for temporary replacements? Yeah, I don't know what he's up to for Anzac Day. I should have messaged him. But yeah, no Gaza, no distracted sports for this one. It's just me on my lonesome. I did ask... Well, no, Dad is coming around tomorrow. Gaz is coming around tomorrow, so he kind of said... like, do you want me to stay for a stream or do you not want me to stay for a stream? But he also said the weather forecast is not good. So I think he was implying that he kind of wants to go home if it's raining. He doesn't want to be... Even though Mum's the one who drives, he doesn't want to be driving home in the rain. Ian's back in the Reds. Chances of golden point, I mean, pretty slim. We've only had one game of golden point this year, but I feel like the Blues and the Reds are relatively evenly matched. The Blues have been playing better rugby in the last kind of 3 weeks, and the Reds are at the right end of the table for a reason. So, yeah, it could be. Novmum has picked the Blues to win this game in the tipping. So have I, but I'm not confident. Leighton says, Wallace making breaks in his first game back. Yeah, bro. Very pleasing. He's back earlier than expected and he looked sharp. So very, very pleasing. Red's very strong at home. Didn't the Brumbies beat them at home not that long ago? Stephen Donald getting laughed at for his comments over here. Yeah, I saw that blew up. I knew it would blow up as soon as he said it. And it's why you don't watch the breakdown. You kind of get what you expect from the breakdown, sadly. Novmum's calling this as a purple game, which makes sense. Red and blue, there you go. Purple will be the winner on the day. They've currently got the Soldiers out on the pitch. I assume they're about to play the last post. Padza is watching the Waz right now, hoping for the Reds to win so the Canes have more of a chance of the playoffs. How are the Waz going? Although that'll be spoilers for anyone else who wants to see that result. But, yeah, I hope we win to keep my team's hope alive. What can I say? And Rian should be working. I just watched your video, Rian. Sorry I didn't comment on it. I watched your video. You started off with the old Ligarek moment where he kind of took a bit of a dive. Talked a bit about your Lions. You didn't watch the Welsh games. I watched it. It was a good video. It was a good video. The old rugby update by Rianlo. Late, but it was there. Harrison's got a multi. The capital should be capital and Auckland to win. The capital should be capital. Am I being silly? What does that mean? Good shout out in the comments for 2 cents on Egg Chasers comment section. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. People were saying that Tim did a video about it. And that there was some nice comments that 2 cents is maybe more balanced than the people on the breakdown, which is nice. Something like that. I can always look it up, Padza. Let me have a look. NRL. Okay, that's interesting. 15 minutes to go. Oh, Canes, Satyrs and Blues. Okay, there we go. Nice food takeaways. Oh, bro, long time no see. Where you been? Long time. Maybe I just haven't been doing enough live streams. That's probably it. Portia has come out of retirement. Novmum, we're going to need her against England if we get to face them because they look pretty bloody unstoppable in the women's right now. Been in jail. Oh, that sucks. That sucks. Which one? Stephen Donald just doesn't watch European rugby. Sean, I think you've pretty much nailed that 100%. If you didn't watch the URC and you just took one look at the table and you'd be like, look how far Leinster is ahead of everyone else. Everyone else must be trash. And Geordie is playing well for that team. So if Geordie's good for Leinster and Leinster's so far ahead of everyone else must be rubbish. I assume that's pretty much it in a nutshell. If you just don't pay attention, you'll say stuff. He didn't. I think he said it just kind of off the cuff. I don't think he planned it. But yeah, what can I say? Like James Parsons, if you hear him talk about European rugby, he watches it, clearly. It comes out in the comments. Oh, your in-laws. My in-laws are coming here in, what, like 15 days? How long do you think my in-laws from China are staying with me? How long do you think? Some of you on Patreon may know the answer. Ben is cheering on the Blues. Get in there, Ben. You Crusaders legend, you. Star Leo, good evening, mate. How's it going? Happy Anzac Day. Jack says, let's go Blues. All right, I'm starting to feel some Blues love here. This is good. I don't know why Stephen Donald is even brought in for expert comments. That lad has one all right kick and otherwise subpar career. Yeah, he was all right, but you get remembered for that last moment, don't you? Daramundi reckons a month. Novmum reckons 3 months. Novmum is closer. It's close to 4 months. Not quite 4 months, but very close to 4 months. Nice Food likes the China videos. I appreciate that, man. The China videos do terribly, so part of me thinks they must be terrible because they don't get bugger all people watching them, but I think they're alright and they give me something to do. So, yeah. 2 cents on tour. That's my other channel if you haven't seen it. Tell them to bring rare earth metals. I will tell them. That's a long time. Are they staying at your house? Yes, they are. My 3-bedroom house, which is like 80 square meters. This house is compact, and it's going to have 2 extra bodies in it. Just the 1 shower. We do have 2 toilets, but just the 1 shower. We've got a dining table with 4 chairs, so that's going to be interesting. I might have to buy a couple of chairs. Got 2-seater couch. Yeah, it's compact. It's going to be interesting. Do the in-laws speak English? They do not, Adam. They do not. Fortunately, I speak a decent amount of Chinese, so I'll be able to communicate with them. Charlotte says, hi Mark, I can't stay for the whole session, but go well, Mark's Blues. Appreciate it, Charlotte. We could certainly use a win because we are miles behind. We're not miles behind, but we're out the playoffs at the moment. Blues versus the Golds. Yeah, it's a gold jersey for the Reds today, mate. Why are they visiting for so long? They haven't been here since my son was born in 2015. And they're in their 60s, so I guess they figure they are probably never going to come to New Zealand ever again. I assume. So they just figured we'll just come for 4 months. They didn't even tell us. My missus got their visas sorted, which is like an open visa, so they could book however long they wanted, like up to 6 months. She was assuming that they might come for 2. They just were like, oh, we just booked tickets for 4 months. So, yep, it's going to be cozy. It's going to be cozy. And Rian's moving house. Oh, the end of the brown couch. It's going to be the end of an era, Rian. How big is your new house? Because I might need a bed to crash on or a couch to crash on if I need an escape. Still watch the walking videos waiting for the Mangere update. Yeah, true. I need to get out to some more spots. I haven't put out anything from south for a wee while. Our house is 100 square meters, and even sometimes it feels too small for the 4 of us, and can't imagine staying for 4 months. Yeah. That's kind of where I'm at now, Mum. But it'll be alright. I'm sure they will help out a lot around the house, which will be helpful. Like help me with the pick up and drop off of the kids and probably cook dinners and stuff. So in a way, it will be a little bit of pressure off. It'll just be cozy for a wee while. Starleo says a Blues loss would be great today. Not going to lie. Yeah, for the Canes and the Blues, we're almost going head to head, aren't we? For those spots. And Caleb, has the game started? Yeah, they scheduled the coverage for 9:35, but sometimes with the Aussies, they kick it off 10 minutes or so later. SK, do your kids also speak Chinese? My kids speak a decent amount of Chinese, but they've grown up in New Zealand, so they speak way better English. It's definitely going to be a boost to their Chinese to have my in-laws staying with us for 4 months. They will certainly get a shitload of Chinese practice in the next 4 months. Evening, Mark and all. Is it wrong that I'm watching the Waz instead of the pre-game Anzac service? Not really. I've taken my earpiece out because I figure let's just wait for the game to start, basically. Last off-topic question. Did you take the kids to any Anzac services today in Auckland? Nah, I didn't actually. I probably should next year, like to one of the local ones. I mean, I could do the dorm one. Geez, they're still warming up. But yeah, no, I didn't take them into anything. Eloran says, you're up late, Mark. Yeah, the Blues, man. This is a key game in our season. I figured I better jump on so you guys can share the joy or the misery. 5-ish bed, depending on your definition of a home office. So that's plenty of room for a Kiwi visitor, eh, Rian? What do you reckon? Owen says, what's your opinion on Stephen Donald URC comments as someone who watches a lot of both comps? Basically just said earlier, I don't think Stephen Donald watches any of the URC. I basically think that's where his comments come from. I think it's ignorance rather than anything malicious. Ignorance and maybe a little bit of arrogance. Maybe a lot of arrogance, you could say, but yep. I don't think he watched European rugby, to be fair. 4 months is too long with the in-laws, says Charlotte. Whoa, says 4 months, Alaran. Indeed. Yes, 4 months is going to be... Well, we'll see. Well, you guys will be able to see in my videos if it's affecting me, I suppose. Might be doing some more live streams so I can just lock myself in a room for 2 hours. Anyway. When are we getting Rian Lowe collab on the 2CGD podcast? Well, if we ever get over to Johannesburg or if he ever comes to Auckland, I'm sure it'll happen. For sure. How you organise the bedrooms? Well, my daughter's bed has like a little pull-out bed underneath it. So the kids are going to go one room. My in-laws are going to sleep in my son's room because he's on a double bed anyway. And then my room is unchanged. So... the kids sharing a room for 4 months. Let's see how that goes. Wise game is over. You ready for kickoff? Now, this game still hasn't kicked off. 9:35, it said. We're here at 9:52. It's going to be a long stream. What time's the kickoff New Zealand time, Jimmy? Good question. It's supposed to be 9:35, but I guess that was the start of the coverage. I think they're about to get underway. Let's have a listen. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for coming along. Keeping me company. To be fair to Beaver, when South Africa was last in Super Rugby, they were mostly not very good. And the URC, they're winning plenty. And the URC has some games that are much more easy beats than Super Rugby this year. Kickoff has started. We're 10 seconds in. Yeah, Jimmy, I was saying earlier, I think Beavers just looked at the table and just saw that Leinster is, like, was it 3 or 4 wins better than everybody else, and probably just assumes that everyone else is crap. Breathe in, breathe out, Matthew. This is going to be good advice. Finlay Christie is rocking a pretty sharp new haircut, by the way. We are 40 seconds in for anyone looking to match up. Charlotte could manage 48 hours with hers. And they are dead now, so you don't have that issue. There you go. My father-in-law smokes like a chimney, so he's going to have to calm that shit down because I can't afford to pay for his smoking habit over here because it's like $40 a packet of cigarettes over here, so that ain't going to fly. He can only bring 2 packets for himself, and his missus can bring 2 packets, so he's going to have 4 packets. I'll help him get some, but I'm not going to be supplying a pack a day like he smokes in China. He might have to vape. I don't know. But he's going to bring a ton of booze. Me and him get on the Chinese booze. That greases the wheels between me and the father-in-law. We always have a good drink over dinner, and we're best buddies. We don't say that much when we're not having dinner, but when we're having dinner, we get on the Chinese booze and just have the best chats. It's pretty good. What Leinster player would you take for a sabbatical at the Blues? Says Owen. That's a good question. Which Leinster player would I like to see here at the Blues? Yeah, Sheehan would be pretty good because that guy is proper electric. It might be nice to see young Sam Prendergast come down here, but maybe give him a few more years under the hood first. James Ryan would be good because we've got locking injuries at the moment. Be nice to see. I don't think they would be able to pay for it because Leinster, I think, has got more money for salaries than, well, URC teams generally, I think, have got a bit more cash in hand than the Super Rugby teams. So I don't think we would see many sabbaticals done this way. But you never know. Some might come do it for the experience. For what it's worth, I'm kind of with Stephen Donald. I do watch a stack of URC. It will be pretty much better with no Champions Challenge Cup International when I'm messing with it. Yeah, I've actually thought about doing it like a video, like what are the good things and bad things. Like I was thinking about doing a video like Tim did on Egg Chasers about the comments, oh, here comes the Reds Mall. But I didn't want to do it because I knew it'd be a bit negative commenty. It's just another hot air comment from a pundit, which I thought, nah. But it'd be good to do an analysis of what was good and bad about the competitions. And I do think it does get a bit disruptive with the URC having the Six Nations breaks and the Champions Cup breaks and teams prioritising one over the other, that kind of stuff. That would be an interesting thing to talk about. Liner is a try. It's a try. We've only just started. We're only 4 minutes in. Goodness me. Do you mean cartons? No, you're only allowed to bring 2 packets of cigarettes to New Zealand. Each person, 2 packets. So 50 cigarettes total. Oh man, Liner just got it down. It's going to be 7-0 to the Reds, folks. Maybe Stephen was comparing the URC to when he played Super Rugby. Yeah, you might be right. If he doesn't watch it. And, like, there's been a lot of fluctuations. If you look in the news from only, might be a bit longer than 5 years ago now, but there were articles saying how the top 14 was in deep shit just a few years ago, maybe more than a few, less than a decade ago, and that the Premiership was like the best club competition in the world, and now Premiership's had a couple of clubs go bust, and the top 14's going gangbusters, so there's always a bit of fluctuation, eh? 7 points to 0 Reds, folks. Blues haven't hardly had a chance. Douglas, I should say. I don't know if I can call you Douglas. Loves the Chinese booze as a Scot. It's an acquired taste, the Chinese booze. You tend to want to have it when you're eating. It doesn't tend to go that well on its own. But yeah, me and the father-in-law have some very fluid conversations when we are on the booze. And Darmundi's making the most of the Gaza emojis, which I haven't changed yet. I will. UK teams send second squads to South Africa, which makes things a bit messy. Alaran, yeah, that's one of the things which doesn't happen a lot in Super Rugby. You see guys rotate the squads, but you don't genuinely see a full second team usually run out in Super Rugby. The season's just not long enough to warrant it. The squads are a bit smaller. They don't have the same depth to really just change like the whole team. But yeah, it's just different, and there's not a second competition to worry about, kind of thing. Oh, no. Oh, Linus just got a second. Oh, my God. This is not going well, folks. What did I say about these teams being evenly matched at the start? Drop ball from Sullivan. Paisami. Campbell, and then Liner with the support line. Christie can't get him. Jeez. Oh, man. Alex is in England. He's excited to be getting Len Ikitau. He's a good player, man. Very good player. He will certainly bolster your lads' squad, for sure. And I can call Doug. Okay, that's good to know, Doug. There we go. Did I smoke when I first met the father-in-law, Eleran? I had the occasional cigarette with him, but my missus does not like me smoking at that time. She still does not like it. So I don't smoke now. But I used to have the odd one with him, but not many. Seeing you watch your team is like looking in the mirror, Rian. Yeah. Do you remember when both our teams were good, Rian? It's a while ago now. Geez, 2024 is looking like ancient history at the moment. Reds were 14-0 up against the Brumbies before getting comfortably beaten at home. That is true. But even if the Reds don't score for the next, 5 minutes, they're still going a point a minute. Charlotte, the first one, the Reds just punished the territory, Burrow over from close range. It wasn't really a bad defensive read. It was just a payoff in pressure. Second one was just kind of loose ball. Reds go quick and the Blues can't set. So, yep, Reds doing all right. The Lions were good, Matthew, believe it or not. They made a couple of Super Rugby finals. They probably should have won that one against the Crusaders, but for a Quokka Smith red card, which, dare I say it, potentially ruined that game. I really wanted the Lions to win that one. I gave up smoking 15 plus years ago when you could buy a packet of cigarettes for $20. Yeah, Ben. I remember smoking cigarettes at that price as well. See, I was living in China where cigarettes were still that price or cheaper. I couldn't afford to smoke now, to be honest, without sacrificing something. $40 a packet, Jesus. Right, the Blues are about a metre or two out from the Reds line. 11 phases. It's kind of slow ball, though. Come on, Christie, move that friggin' thing. Hoskins is on his own. Dummies and goes back the other way. Monstered. Rian cried in the stands, angry at Quokka. Yeah. Why have the Blues fallen off? We got some guys injured, but I don't know. We maybe kept it a bit tighter last year. Maybe because we lost Akira. Oh, you're just teasing Rian. Okay, Matthew. Sorry, I probably opened up some old wounds for Rian. The Lions were so good back then, and so were the Canes. That was a great time in Super Rugby, wasn't it? The Lions were good under Ackerman. The Canes had a hell of a team. The Blues were crap. The Blues were genuinely garbage. But it was a good time for Super Rugby. That was quite interesting. How did you manage to stop smoking? I guess same as Ben, just cold turkey, and I don't hang around anybody who smokes, which helps. Plus, I'm stingy, and cigarettes are too expensive. Oh, the Blues have got the maul going. We're back in the game, folks. Kurt Eklund's just gone over for the first try. We needed that. Definitely needed that. Big V8 show, bro. It has been way too long. But I have been slack with the live streams. Good to have you along, bro. Haven't won in Australia yet. It's been hard for the New Zealand teams winning in Aussie, eh? Missing Akira and Satutu injured, needed their ball carrying in the tight. It's probably a good call, Riam. Maybe Akira is more missed than we thought, eh? Oh no. 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 They're going to check if the maul's legal or not. Lovebum got offered a smoke in Form 2 and said no. I initially turned down smokes as well, but ended up starting smoking when I worked at the court. Is everybody still attached? Still attached, still attached, still attached. We good? Early drive from the Reds. I thought it looks fine too, Ben, but... Oh, what? They're going to do it again? Okay. My first job was in a timber yard when I was 15. That's when I started smoking. I believe it. Oh, well, Blues get a chance to go again. How many games the New Zealand teams have played in Australia? Highlanders played in the first round. Canes have played in Perth. Who else has played? Chiefs. They've been away to Lautoka. That's not in Australia. Oh, we held up. But another penalty. Okay. Third chance. Surely a team yellow soon. If they keep conceding, eh, Ben? It's good that they were able to stop Satutu. He's usually pretty hard to bring down from close range. Is this the most competitive Super Rugby season we've had in literal decades? I feel like it. I think so, but I'd have to go back and check some of the other tables. But it feels like it. Eklund's held up. They're going to TMO it. Or has he got it down? How poor has Rico been recently? Seems like an unbelievable coup for Leinster, given he's in his prime, but it seems like... Honestly, mate, he gets an unfair amount of stick. Like, he's okay. I honestly think the reason he gets so much stick is because he used to be an unbelievable winger and now he's just like a solid midfielder. Is he held up? I feel like he's held up. There's no grounding there. That's held up for days. Mother flippin'. Rico's gotten a lot better defensively. He just doesn't have a natural read as a midfielder on finding guys in the space and whatnot. Sometimes you see him not find guys when you think he probably should. Charlotte's mum was a chain smoker, so when you got my first boyfriend who was also a smoker, you started but gave up when I was 20. Wow. Giving up at 20? You must have started quite young. I didn't even start by the time I was 20. But yeah, it's definitely a tough one. I would rather have not started, to be honest, because it's a pain in the ass to quit. That's a bit of a nothing kick. Oh, the Blues are still down the Reds' end, but still scoreless. Took this ref 20 minutes to issue a team yellow to the Wires versus Chiefs a few years ago. They all have different kind of interpretations on how many it takes. Like some teams you'll see get pinged 3 times, quick succession in their own 22, and a guy's gone on the third one, eh? If Ringrose is fit, he'll absolutely be a winger for Leinster. Maybe that can rejuvenate him. I hope you guys can turn him into a world-class midfielder, give him that nous that he needs in the mid. Take on Stephen Donald's remark about the URC. Basically hot air, mate. I think that's about the best description I can give to it. Amazing defence to actually keep them out. Yeah, man, people give Super Rugby a fair bit of shit about not having good defence, but the Reds have kept the Blues scoreless with those big defensive shifts there. Rico's poor regarding spatial awareness, Doug. That's probably the best way to put it. Yeah. Some guys have a natural read for the game in the midfield. I don't think Rico has that. He's a great athlete. He's still pretty quick. Leicester find Ganuku coming back. He'll go into the AB's midfield. Probably right, Leighton. Because I think he's mostly been playing in the midfield over in France too. Leinster rest Henshaw and Ringrose a lot, so Rico will get lots of time at 13. They seem to rotate their midfielders over in Leinster, eh? Beaver should stick to white baiting. The breakdown just is good at baiting people generally, so I wouldn't take too much notice of it personally. That's the advice I would give. I'll need to make a video about shows or pundits or whatever which I find like the most or like the least value. Like off the top of my head, the breakdown tends to be not great. That Stephen Jones, his articles tend to be pretty shit. He just has some weird takes just to wind people up, I think. Are we held up again? Sake. Anyway, Matt Williams, I don't think his stuff adds a heck of a lot of value sometimes. So, yes. Jonathan Davis. Good midfielder. 14:05 is the time on my clock right now. The breakdown sucks. Nice food. Indeed. Tony from 2 Cents. Ah, man. Tony O'Sullivan guy, just a South African beta. At least he's funny. Oh, man. Breakdown can be entertaining. I don't think they have it in for the URC. Even the question was stupid about the standard. Yeah. I think it's one of those ones where sometimes you need to look at it as in, like, that's a New Zealand show, which is primarily a New Zealand audience in terms of Sky Sports subscribers who probably don't watch much European rugby. I mean, even some of the pundits you can tell don't watch. So that's the audience they're going for. It's like when Matt Williams on the Irish, what is he on, RTE? Like, talks shit about Scotland. I guess he's talking to Irish fans who don't like Stuart Hogg or some other big name or loudmouth or whatever, like Scottish players. It's just one of those ones, isn't it? I feel like they don't represent the majority of the fans, but it's just one of those things. Off the ball from Ireland. Yeah, that's another one, Rian. That's a good shout. Because what was the one? They were like, would 13-man Ireland beat 15-man Wales or something during the Six Nations? That's the same kind of stuff. It's just... They get you with it. I try not to be got, but every now and again I'll get got by something. Right. Blues have got a scrum penalty. We're 21 minutes and 20 seconds in. I want to see the territory stats because they've, apart from the first few minutes, which were all Reds, it's been all Blues now. Last 5 penalties conceded, all Reds penalties. If Tony wasn't funny, he would be even more despicable. Jeez, despicable's a harsh word. Territory is 60-40. Possession, last 10 minutes, 86% Blues. God, we got to get something out of this. Off the ball, went behind the paywall, lost John Malloy. They're in decline. Going behind a paywall in this day and age doesn't seem like the greatest move. Sullivan's close to the line for the Blues. We got advantage. Surely we're going to get a card here, ref. Come on, Jordan. Quick hands from the Blues. But no, the Reds got their hand on it. The breakdown used to be alright when it was on a Tuesday and they could bring interesting analysis, especially when they brought up the 10-14 rugby guys. Now it's just some dumb social media hot takes. Yeah, Ben, I think you are right. And sadly, I mean, there's always been kind of shock jocks and whatnot as a thing, but I feel like we're getting more towards that kind of media because that kind of stuff genuinely gets more attention. Like the 10-14 stuff was brilliant, but it's not going to get the kind of controversial rage baiting stuff going on. It'd probably get fewer views and fewer comments and stuff than if they said something controversial to, stick the boot into somebody. But anyway, give a damn yellow card, Eldorado. Yeah, it's like, 6 penalties in a row? So, to be fair, one was just a scrum penalty. Oh no! Just giving away a scrum penalty of our own 5 metres out. So that's a freebie except for the Reds. Jeez, guys. Hard to watch. Yeah, why are the Blues like this, Sean? I don't know. Because I'm watching it with you guys. They're rage baiting me. Novmum's feeling the frustration. Doug says, I loved the 10-14. So did I. It was a great show. Really insightful. Really knowledgeable. A Kiwi and an Irishman. You know, love doing the kind of deep dives on stuff. Fantastic. Indeed used to have a show, Reunion and Technical Show, which went deeper into tactics. No one would watch those anymore. I still think there's a market for that kind of stuff. Like the fact that Squidge's videos are so popular is because there's a market for that real kind of deep dive tactical analysis stuff. What beer? I'm just drinking Tui because I'm cheap. It was the cheapest beer the other day. So Miss 1014, the Rays interview was brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. Doug actually likes Tony. Despicable Tony. I know. So do I, otherwise I wouldn't be doing videos with him. Still drinking crap beer. Some things never change. Used to be a show in South Africa with analysis long ago. Jake White was on it before he became the Bok coach. Was so good. Geez, that must be a long time ago. Didn't Swiss the Brain used to do some analysis for Supersport or something? This week's hot take from Egg Chaser on dissing Stephen Donald, calling a URC second rate. I thought about doing a video about that topic as well, man. Because it was like a hot take. I saw Planet Rugby wrote an article about it. Egg Chasers made a video about it. There was a bunch of people talking about it because it's a hot topic. It's like pundit says something inflammatory. That's the kind of thing that gets people talking. So, but yeah, what can I say? I left it alone because it just felt like hot air. Swiss on TV till last year. He coaches the Lady Box. Yeah, I know he got that coaching role, but he was one of those guys that I felt like added a value when he was doing the kind of punditry thing too. It's a good kick from the Reds. Geez, someone asked before who thinks the Wallabies 10 is going to be. I mean, I would like to see Liner because I feel like he's got the best potential ceiling of the current crop. But yeah, I don't know. Is it just me or is this the slowest 25 minutes in rugby history? It's taken a wee while. Believe it or not, I have seen a much worse game. Or was that high? I've seen a much worse game between the Reds and the Blues. I think it was Tana Umanga coached Blues. Ended up drawing with the Reds in god-awful conditions. It was raining. There were knock-ons every 5 minutes. And every scrum, the Blues would get penalised. Like the Blues actually looked like they could work some phases and potentially score a try, but would knock it on, and then they would concede a penalty, and then they'd be back down their own end. And it was like that the whole fucking game. It was one of the worst matches I've seen. Ended in a draw. It was just the worst. Aileron's off to cook dinner. I'll drop in for the last 10. It may be interesting by that point. Fingers crossed, bro. Fingers crossed. I heard Black Lion has got the backing of World Rugby in negotiations to join the URC. You know, one thing I worry about with the URC is the potential for it to get too big. It's already quite big at the moment. Super Rugby had a sweet spot at around about 12, 14 teams. And then it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and the quality of the games as the talent got spread thin, got worse and worse. I feel like expansion was one of the main things that killed Super Rugby, because they could sell a bigger broadcast deal with more games, but the quality of the games were worse, so people stopped watching them. Just my 2 cents. Have you watched any of the new revised Sports Cafe? No, it has been suggested to me on my YouTube feed, but I didn't watch it. EJ says it's alright, but he's very, very English. We won't hold that against him. He seems like a good bloke, man. I've spoken to him a bit on WhatsApp. He seems like a nice guy. And he's really, he's a really slick speaker, because his content's very engaging. Replace a Welsh team with a Georgian team. Oh, Stalio shots are firing. Do you think the Blues are being bad on purpose? I wish that was the case. Satutu's just hoofed it clear. Remember, we had 14 points in about 9 minutes in this game. Still 14 points. Oh, my. Oh, really? That felt just like a good hit. Come on. There's some handbags now. The UFC chair has said multiple times now they're keeping it as it is now. Yeah, they say that until they change it. If the UFC want to expand, they need to go promotion relegation. Have I ever bought a Super Rugby season pass for the Blues? Yeah, I used to have. I used to be a season member with my dad. Tackle. That's fine. Oh, I can't speak to this one because I got my Blues hat on. I got a hat. I got a lanyard with the Blues membership. I got like a discount to the Blues shop. I got a certificate. Mostly just junk, but the hat's alright. I'd be surprised if promotion relegation gets added. Yeah, because who's going to watch Tier 2 URC? That's the problem. I really don't want that to be a red. He more swept the leg than lifted him. Yeah, it didn't feel like a big lift, but I can... I can see it being a card. Yeah, it's still under review, but hopefully just 10 minutes in the bin. So did the membership give you a priority by All Blacks tickets? Oh, it probably did. It probably did. But there were multiple ways you could get priority access to buy All Blacks tickets as well. Like if you were a something member or... Yeah, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it did. If the Blues were a URC team, who would they be? Who would the Blues be in the URC? The Blues are a team with kind of more former glories than current ones. Inconsistent. Prone to winning games they probably written off for, and then losing games they should be winning. But we did win it last year. One of the Italian teams? Probably not one of the Italian teams. Blues, the Stormers, maybe, but the Stormers never got themselves a title. I was thinking Munster as well, but then Munster were never quite as bad as the Blues got for one period. But yeah, Munster's the one that rings the most true. Munster won the URC recently. Munster are a bit inconsistent as well. Munster have got a massive history, more so than the current side. Super Rugby could make an app similar to URC TV. Loads of people would buy it. Where's Super Rugby broadcast at the moment over in other parts of the world? Is it still on Sky Sports in the UK? Has to be the Lions. Both in major cities, both should be better, both with oversized stadiums. That's a fair shout as well. Stan in Australia, yeah. Stormers won the first URC. Geez, I'm a moron. Of course they did. Just thinking about the bloody Super Rugby thing, which they never managed to kind of crack. I still remember that year they had Alistair Coetzee in charge, and they had this like defensively kind of powerhouse side, which were really hard to crack. Finished top of the log by a mile, but then still got nowhere. That's a long time ago now. Sky Sports in the UK, oh, fair enough. Blues have enough talent to walk into a home semi-final this year, but are massive underachievers. I wouldn't call Munster underachievers. Yeah, so maybe that's where the Stormers comparison comes in, eh? Or even the Sharks at the minute. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, one-handed intercept. But they're going back for it anyway. Going back for the penalty. Super Rugby on Supersport in South Africa. Fair enough. It's all the rugby's on Supersport, eh? I remember seeing the prices of Supersport years ago, and it seems to be pretty bloody expensive, but you get a decent amount of rugby for it. No! Come on, that's not a red card. Come on, man. Okay, that angle looks worse. That angle does look worse. They usually find a way to downgrade stuff to a yellow. But that one angle looked pretty shit. It's lore of the week. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to predict, but we're doing all right despite the man down. Come on, Blues, please score here. We are only 2 meters out. Advantage. Jeez, these guys need a carb with all these penalties conceded, man. Balance things out, ref. I know they're not supposed to balance things out, but you know they do. Oh, Eklund, that's try time. That one is a try. Now, Timo, just stay shushed. Stay shush. For the love of God. They're sweeping the try. They're going to check it. Are they checking for a knock on or something? That's the grounding's fine. Compared to the decapitation from the last game, Talia's tackle looked like tiddlywinks. Yeah, the Tompkinson hit in the last game, like visually the first impact looked like, oh shit. Whereas this one was like, oh, that's a good hit. But, oh well. First impression is just what I'm talking about. First angle you see. Right, 7 points on the board, despite the card. We're going all right. No check. No check. Let's go Blues. 2 more minutes of this first half. Good game so far, says Pat. It's just gotten a little bit better, I'll give you that much. Even the Crusaders die hard, the Blues, even with the try, are still frustrating. Yeah. I'm still confused as to why Vern isn't being given as much grief by the media as Penny got last year. I think Penny took over he's like got the Alex Ferguson problem, right? Like the most successful side ever in that competition. So anything but immediate success was going to be treated harshly. I think with Penny, it's the fact that not only did they not win it, but they didn't even make the playoffs in a competition where 2/3 of the team made the playoffs. I think that's the difference. Like one title last year could, I guess, be seen as a fluke. Oh, is that knocked backwards? Lucky by Jock Campbell. Everyone non-Cantab loved watching the Crusaders and Penny suffer. 100%. 100%. Though they were just so successful for so many years, it was nice to see a change of pace. But I mean, he's turned it around pretty well this year. He's got more players available than he had last year, right? Because they had a pretty bad injury toll last year. Can someone explain the Blues logo? I can explain the Blues logo to you. It's basically... can I get this to work? Is that going to work? That's so small. Is that going to work? See that? Oh, my camera's there. That's my microphone. That thing. That's the island. There. See? It's the same shape. See that thing? Jesus Christ. That thing. This thing. Yeah. It's in the middle of Auckland City. Rangitoto. It's island. That's what the logo's for. Distracted Sports. If me did, this is a tough watch. The Waz was cracking though. Can we talk about them on Monday? Yes, Tony. I think so. We can talk about the Waz. If you want to talk about the Waz. If you talk about the Waz like you talk about golf, you could have a rugby league podcast. Injuries. Yeah, Ben, they had a heap of injuries. Giving nothing's gone their way, the Reds have given up 5 penalties, 15 metres from their own try and still not carded, and Talia being a dumbass. Line of 14, 7 to the Blues isn't too bad. It is still doable, isn't it? This game. It's still doable. Do you follow soccer? If so, is your team Sean? When I lived in China in the 2000s and the 2010s, finding rugby online was hard, so I did start following soccer. I mainly followed Liverpool under Rafa Benitez, who were kind of reminiscent of my Blues because they were a team living off past glories, despite the fact that he won the Champions League in Istanbul, and just constantly finishing in the top 4. So that was kind of interesting. It was a little bit frustrating, but then once I came back to New Zealand, I kind of stopped watching the football. Haven't watched it for a long time. Jack, morning. How's it going? It's going all right. My Blues are 7 points down and we've been red carded. But we've had some bloody good chances, so we're in with a shout in the second half. I hope things are going good with you, mate. If only the Blues could erupt like a volcano. It is a dormant volcano, which Tony didn't mention. It's a dormant one, just FYI. Maybe the Blues are just a bit dormant. Jules, after the disappointing Force match, it's nice to watch a match that I don't mind who wins. You guys were competitive for the first half. Harry Potter is still a good player. That's one thing. Oh, by the way, if anyone doesn't know, I set up channel memberships a couple of weeks ago. So you can get little Gaza emojis and stuff, because it's usually my dad that joins me on the live streams and whatnot. So, yeah, I set them at 99 cents because 2 cents is not an option. But if you want a 99-cent channel membership, you can see a few people have got their names in green. And they got the little shirts there. That's what that is. Just FYI. This week I was too late to change my players for fantasy. So some of my players from last week are locked in, including D-Mac who didn't play. So my week's basically buggered in fantasy this week. That's my fault for not getting it sorted early. But anyway, is what it is. We were in it, but then not so much. Jules, sad to say, I hope my Blues do it to your guys next week as well, but we'll see. There you go. War Thunder's just jumped on. 2 cents with Gazamania. I offer, like, the person I do live streams most with is my dad. He's going to come over tomorrow. Hopefully I can talk him into coming on for a live stream, but he's kind of already indicated that he wants to go home early because it might be raining. But cheers, War Thunder. Good to have you on board. Do you reckon the Wallabies can get it done over the Lions based on Super Rugby this year? I was saying last year that I thought the Wallabies would be more competitive than people were giving them credit for, because I thought that Eddie Jones had underperformed with the Wallabies more than people realised. But can they get it done? I don't think they will, but I think it'll be a good series, if nothing else. Lions squad's going to be pretty stacked. As much as I hate Auckland being from Crusader country, it would be good to see them in the playoffs. Imagine Blues Crusaders round 1 of the playoffs. That'd be a good matchup. What can I say? If that happens, I'm sure me and Tony will live stream it in all our pain. Although last week was kind of close. But yeah. I'll have a look at the match stats for this one. I feel like the penalty count's pretty horrendously lopsided. And enjoying the dual Kiwi Aussie commentators. Yeah, they had it in the last game as well, because they had Morgan Turanui over at the Bay Oval. So that was actually quite good. Penalties conceded is 7-3. Feels like it's more than 7, but apparently 7-3. What's the possession? Possession is more with the Reds, but it's not by much. 54-46. Territory, 53-47 to the Blues. Frustrating one is line breaks is 2-0 to the Reds. And defenders beaten is 10 each. So the Blues haven't been like that sharp on attack. Swapping Turanui for Muliaina is a bit of a bad deal for the Aussie broadcasters. Turanui, I think, of the current crop of commentators, is probably the best because he actually adds a lot of value in that he knows the laws better than pretty much all of the other pundits. A lot of them tend to go on just gut feeling, or back when they were players, but Turanui actually knows the laws, so... And he seems to have the least kind of bias about him, which is pretty pleasing. Turanui and Parsons are the best analysts, says Jimmy. I would agree with that. It's part of the reason I enjoy Parsons' show on the Aotearoa Rugby Pod. Do you think the Australian teams are performing better because individuals are pushing for national selection against the Lions? Or are New Zealand standards dropping? I still think the New Zealand teams are going all right. I genuinely think the Aussie teams have gotten a bit better, but call me an optimist. Force have recruited pretty well, which I think has been reflected in some of their results. And they seem to have a pretty good coaching setup. Les Kiss has had a wee while with the Reds boys now, and he seems to be bringing through the right players. Larkham's had the Brumbies for a while, and he's got a whole bunch of Wallabies at hand. And then the Rebels' demise has kind of meant that the talent has been able to bolster the depth in Aussie rugby, which I think has probably helped. But yeah, maybe the New Zealand sides are lacking a little bit of guys who've headed abroad and whatnot. I'd normally cheer for the Blues over Aussie teams, but this season is exactly what most fans needed, so come on, the Reds. It would be interesting for Super Rugby to see 3 or 4 Aussie teams make the playoffs. That would be the only kind of... that would be the kind of only bright spot if the Blues don't make it. Ryan, did we discuss the low level comments? Yeah, multiple times. I think hot air is the best way I can summarize that show in general. It's a bit of hot air. Would be good for the ABs to have some players get a rest too. I hadn't thought about it from that angle, but yeah, that's probably true. Although, you know, Reyes is just going to pick the Crusaders, boys. Slightly tongue-in-cheek as I say that. Reds took the foot off the pedal, putting the Blues under lots of pressure. Big second half for both teams. Gold. Yeah. It's another game where the Reds have started at home absolutely on fire, and then it's just kind of evened back out a bit, eh? Blues should have taken more of the chances than earlier on, though, man. Jeez. Held up, chalked off tries. 20-minute red card, making me think the Blues still have a really decent chance. Star Leo. I agree. I mean, they scored their try during the initial period, and they got to feel like if the Reds keep conceding, eventually they're going to get yellowed. I feel like it's coming. Maybe I'm just a stupid optimist, but it feels like a yellow's got to be coming. Some of those Satyrs are definitely warranting selection, like Leo Willie. Well, that's the thing. Razor picked a few Crusaders boys last year, even when the Crusaders weren't going that well, which makes sense because he knows them. But yeah, now that they're going well, he'd be justified in picking more of them, wouldn't he? Havili at 12. There you go. Guys, Mr. Versatile. Let's go 7-1 split. Havili can cover half the back line. Geordie Barrett can cover half the back line. D-Mac can cover bloody 9 in a pinch. Let's do it. Is this game full red card or replacement? He got a 20-minute red, so he can come back on. Havili's never played well for the ABs despite playing well during Super Rugby. Some guys are just kind of like that, though. Ma'anonu used to be the reverse, right? He could play dog shit for his Super Rugby team and then just be a world beater for the All Blacks. Some guys are just like that. Leo Willie's been playing great, but he's not as good as Satiti or Savia. How good was Satiti on his return? Pretty good. We are not light on loose forwards. Loose forwards, we are pretty stacked. What's going wrong with the Blues? We definitely don't have the same punch. Rian mentioned it earlier. Maybe it's the lack of like Satutu at the start of the season and no Akira. But I think it's like just generally when you look at the stats, the Blues attacking numbers, defenders beaten, clean breaks, all that kind of stuff are just low. Carries for the wingers, I think, are a bit low. And ball sometimes just slow. I feel like it gives defenses a chance to set. Like there was a while last year, I think it was, what's his name, Funaki, was playing, I think, when Christie was injured, and I felt like the tempo was just a bit higher. I feel like high tempo is always good because you don't give defenses long to settle. So, yeah. Let me actually have a look, because you know I love a stat. Let me have a look at the Super Rugby stats for this year. Like in the defenders beaten stats, Tavatavanawa, D-Mac, Potter, Reese, Wright, Jordan, Talea, Greeley, Patafilo, and Carter. There's only one blue in that line, and Talea's a freak. He usually would be the top guy on that list if he gets more ball. Clean breaks, Loganamasi, Toole, Reese, Potter, Tangitau, Jordan, Muirhead, Tamoi Falau, Punivai, and Tupaya. Not one blue. Like, those are usually pretty good numbers to see how well your team's going forward. So, I think Talea was like the Blues' first or second top ball carrier last year. He's not in the top 10 guys for ball carries this year. So, I don't know. Oh, look at that. Doge meme. $5. This feels like a strange game. The Blues are a bit like the Rebels did. A lot of great players, but it just isn't gelling. Cheers, man. Yeah, we're kind of playing ugly rugby. Ugly rugby can be fine if it's effective, but at times it's just a little bit too pedestrian. Holy shit, the second half started. I didn't even notice. I was too busy taking stats. Agree with the tempo. Funaki getting injured didn't help. That dog hit by Leonard Brown didn't help. Yeah. I do feel like Christie sometimes gives defensive lines too long to get settled, which just means opportunities which were there just disappear. Random question off topic, kind of. Your favourite Super Rugby jersey of all time? Oh, we just lost our own line out. Come on, man. One of them I actually bought because it was so random. This one is genuinely one of my favourites because it was so left field. The Bulls away jersey. Like, that's an iconic jersey. Just because it was so... Like, you never thought, like, these big, hard men from Pretoria are going to be wearing these pink kits, but, yeah, they sold like hotcakes. I don't know if that's my favourite of all time. I'd have to really have a think about it. The early Blues kits were also quite cool. With the old logo and stuff. Who do you think the rain suits more? Hopefully the rain suits the Blues more. And I agree with you, Michael. Hopefully the Blues are going to show us something special. Scotland is pretty decent when it comes to loose forwards. Bro, heaps of countries have got good loose forwards. It's the one position where I feel like even... Like if you go down the world rankings, the Georgians have got bloody good loose forwards. The Japanese have got good loose forwards. You know what I mean? I feel like it's harder to get world-class props, world-class locks than it is to get loosies. Blues are short. 8 phases. Ta'avau's got it. Don't muck it up. He goes himself. Ta'avau's through! Oh, what a start to the second half. Big Angus Ta'avau. I didn't see that coming. Are they going to check it? Oh, no. No. TMO needs to just stop getting paid by the call. Mark, is everything okay in Auckland? Heard there's some big storms and fire. Yeah, I'm all good, thank you, bro. No dramas where I'm at. Okay. Okay. What was the rule about how long they can go back to look for knock-ons? I thought that was the whole World Cup thing. Yeah, Jimmy. I thought that was the whole... Like 2 phases something. Oh, I don't know. Unless it's foul play. I mean, it's the right call. Yeah. The chai after the Chiefs game as well also had a heap of wasted time. You're right, Jules. Did you guys see that one in the Chiefs game? They carried on the whole length of the bloody field and they wouldn't have caught the Chiefs try if not for an injury. Because they had time to go back and replay. What happened to the phases rule? I don't know, Tony. I just saw something from a URC post which said like they're only allowed to go back 2 phases or something. When can a TMO review be called? Since last restart of play, during an attacking phase of play, within 2 phases of play. What can be reviewed? Foul play. During an attacking phase of play is knock on, forward pass. So maybe that counts. Anyway. Maybe it's just because it was still in the same attacking phase of play. Maybe there's no phases rule. Reds have handled the red card period awfully. Well, there's still 5 minutes to go, but yeah, the Blues have been the dominant side during the card period, that's for sure. Chiefs try was bogus in my opinion. It did look really dodgy from one angle, eh? It's going to be a chair. Red scrum. Who got red carded? Mark Talea. For a tip tackle. It was a big hit, but he just lifted him. They should rewind the clock to the time Hoskins knocked it on. That's what they do in the ice hockey. Or as the Canadians say, hockey. If they chalk off some play, they rewind the clock to the moment it happened. None of these calls are going the way of the Blues, Jimmy. Yeah, tell me about it. Game is too long for that, though. Yeah, maybe that's it. Uh-oh. There we go. Rugby games might last an eternity if they did that, yeah. The Reds have just taken it back into touch from their own scrum, so the Blues have still got a chance to attack down the Reds' end. We're still in the right area of the field to get another try TMO'd. Red scrum was impressive. The Blues lacking a bit of size. Our scrum's been under a bit of pressure, eh? Geez, they just needed to exit the Reds. They got the scrum going. Come on. Win the line out. Win the line out. Win the line out. Fuck. Come on, Blues. Oh, they've charged them down. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, the Reds have got... I swear to God, you better not yellow card us. Okay, thank goodness for that. Reds just got the most random line break from some ricocheted charge down ball. Look at Eklund go. Bloody hell. Well, there's only 2 and a bit minutes to go on the red card. So that's at least something. Line out time. Riccatelli, yeah, maybe he can tidy things up, Jimmy, eh? We just need to hold on for the next couple of minutes. Here we go. Reds have knocked it on. It'll take a minute to set the scrum. Exit play, another minute, and we're back to 15 on 15. The Blues playing better with 14 men at a full complement. Do you really want them to bring another man on? Maybe that's a good point, Michael. Maybe we don't. It is hockey, not ice hockey. If you ever want to experience love of our game, just watch Canadian hockey fans watching rugby. Is that right? Do they appreciate a bit of rugby, do they? I'll admit, the old NHL is the one North American sport that sits the most with me as a rugby fan. Something about it seems right. If the Blues could figure out actually how to convert their opportunities, yeah, this is not unique to this week, is it? But it's been a regular occurrence. Came for the rugby chat, stayed for the middle-aged bloke streaming his own psychological distress. Yes, there is something about this game which is doing my head in. But hey, when the in-laws get here, even watching the Blues lose while I'm locked up in the room may seem like sweet reprieve from it all. And cheers, Charlotte. Good to see you on Team Gazmania. Reds are always playing in the rain this season. Yeah, has it been wet in Queensland or what? The in-laws watching rugby on the live stream. That would be different. Getting my Chinese in-laws to watch rugby. I don't think they would sit through 2 hours of a game somehow. Jackson, come on, Blues. Yeah, man. We're still behind on the board, but we're about to get our player count back to 15 on 15. Then hopefully we can get the score back to 14-14. Defending champs, by the way. Yes, defending champion Blues. Oh, my... What the hell just happened there? My stream just shit itself for a second, and now the Reds are celebrating. What the hell happened there? The sound's not even matched up. What? Sky is really... Tate McDermott has scored with a nice dummy straight through Tatavao and Signa. But is anyone else having issue with the sound, or is it just me? What the hell? It's all over the shop. They're just about to show setting a scrum. Just me. Okay. I will turn off my stream and restart that. Let's watch from live. Okay. Okay. Just me. Converted, yeah, 21-7. Seems like a fair way back for the Blues here now. Given that our rate of scoring seems to be about 1 try for every 4 disallowed tries, I think we need to score about another 10 tries just to even the score up. Oh, Choke just did a wee flip, but we got advantage. Penalty count continues to mount. That rhymes. I'm just streaming from Sky Sports now, but it froze for a second, so my connection must have just shit itself for a second, so it's back to normal since I refreshed it. Reds are overdue a yellow. Yeah, man, the penalty count's high. The penalty count is genuinely pretty high. Gave up on the game. The TMO calling back 9 faces for the knock-on. Constant checking for every Blues try. Bizarre more call. Awful stuff, Nathan. Yeah, and the fact that he's not even warned the Reds for a yellow card. They're up to 8 penalties in 50-odd minutes. I don't know. There was a warning about 33 minutes in. Oh, was there? Maybe it doesn't count for the second half. We're not going to win this game. It was a warning. The Charlie leads to the held up. Okay. McCright killed that maul pretty well for the Reds. Nothing's going right for the Blues. Well, we can beat the Hurricanes. That's about it. Oh yeah, Bodie's on. We need some Bodie magic. On for Plummer. Surprised that Reds haven't got one, but I don't like it when the refs keep the warning going for like 20 minutes. Yeah, that's true. When they change the behaviour, the warning does need to kind of expire, I guess. Clocking off work. Good man, V8 show. If the game's still going when you get back, I'll catch you then. Riccatelli is on. Fuck me, Deb. We just lost another line out. That one wasn't even stolen. We just dropped it. Fucking hell. We don't deserve to win if we can't catch a line out. Oh my God. Oh, Christie's just put in a bit of a nothing kick. He's chased it hard, but then he's missed his tackle too. Oh, that's right. Why do I support the Blues again? Bodie gets the ball under. Oh, Rico's just knocked it on. It wasn't the easiest ball to catch, admittedly, but it would have been nice if he caught that one. Yeah, Randy, maybe they're just happy with last year. Last year was pretty good. Why go back to back like the Crusaders do? You can just... Yeah, last year was nice. I don't think the Reds have opted for 3 all season. Have they done it once? Have they done it once? Maybe once. We're going to reset a scrum. Sounds like his time in Leinster will improve. Rico, you are... Yeah. I need those Leinster coaches to work their magic. Hope the British and Irish Lions are doing their homework. They will be. Blues haven't evolved from last year. That is a thing that does need to happen. They're going to reset the scrum again. Oh, no. They're giving that a scrum penalty straight to the Reds. They were about to reset it. Schmidt it in. That's one of the best things the Coco Show's done. That saying. Blues need to start using their backs more. That's what my dad's been saying. And they've gone backwards from last year. It's putting it mildly. We were good last year. This year we're kind of trash. Leave it to the Blues to spoil my Friday. I feel you. And it looks like Vern feels you as well. The AR called that. Yeah, the ref was just going to let that one go, Jimmy, but then you saw the call come. I think if the Reds score this is game, and that's game. That's a good try. It's a good try. That's a set play from the line out, man. That was pretty slick. Lockie Anderson. Why was I thinking it's Derby Lancaster? Those are different people. Draw, pass, and then hardly touched. Will the TMO check that one for obstruction? No, of course not. Mark, I supported Scotland and Man City for all of my 60 years, so there's nothing in comparison to my Blues. The Blues have had some success. And also a fair bit of rubbish. It's been proven with maths if you have a decent kicker. It's been proven with maths that if you have a decent kicker, that opting for 3 is inferior in terms of like kicking for touch. Sullivan's just knocked that one into touch. Could be a Tars fan here. I could be a Dragons fan from the URC. They've won one game all season. So there's the table. 17 points. Jules has been a Force member for 14 years. That's true. That's true. You guys are still waiting for that elusive finals performance. Hard being a Blues fan, says Junior. You're not wrong, buddy. It can be tough. Why is Forbes not fullback? I think they moved him there for Sullivan, right? They moved Forbes to the wing. Blues are the least entertaining team this year. I wouldn't really argue with that one. Yeah, it can be a tough watch. Playing like it's 2018. Who was coaching 2018? Was that still JK? Or was that Tana? Matthew's Super Brew pick was Blues by 7. I think I said Blues by 1. Blues is another word for depression. It is true. The Blues have got the blues. We need 3 converted tries just to tie it up, folks. This is not the game that Beavers rep needed. Yeah, that's true. Very, very low level was the thing, right? Happy the Satyrs have bounced back. You guys have 1 year of suffering. But it's a good storyline to see them back. It means the problem wasn't really Rob Penny, eh? Maybe it was all the injuries. And first year coaching. You know, first change of coach in so long. It was always going to be a bit of a rough one. The Reds have been mid for years. That's true. They've also had their issues. There was like a glint of hope under Brad Thorne, and then that kind of just started to fizzle. Injuries and lack of cohesion. That's exactly it, eh? New coach is always going to be disruptive. Not always in a good way. Matthew bets the Crusaders will go winless next season. I'd probably take that bet. As in, I would bet against you. there's still 15 minutes of this pain to go. Can we win a line out? It came off a red's hand, but we still won the line out on our own ball. What comp does Jordan Pataya play in now? He plays in the... Well, he's training with the NFL, right? Or that's what he's going to be doing. Is that a one-handed intercept call? No? No? Okay. Fraser was the Crusaders coach last season. He could have somehow got them into the finals. Yeah, there's no way they would have been out of the playoffs. Can the Blues not concede a scrum penalty here? Oh, it's a free kick for the Reds showing early. Just tap it and go. Here we go. Satutu. AJ Lamb. Come on, quick ball. They've replaced Christie, so maybe the tempo will rise a bit now. What team are you going to support into the finals if the Blues aren't there? I would love to go with the Force. Is it a try? Or can it be chalked off? I don't want to celebrate much because I'm waiting for the TMO. Any check? Forward pass or a knock on? Obstruction? Something? Come on, Bodie. Okay. Just 2 tries to go. Have you been to Perth? It's beautiful and underrated. I've never been to Perth. It's in the same time zone as China. I've been to China. Must be quite the trek. Loved Perth, says Stalio. Force is my favourite team to support behind the Sharks and the Cheetahs. You love underdogs. There you go, Matthew. I've mentioned it before, but the Cheetahs had one of my favourite teams in Super Rugby back in the day when they had like Hussen, Sarel Pretorius, Connie Oosthuizen, Boom Prinsloo. Like they had a bunch of cool players, like exciting players playing. I think Billy LaRue was playing for them at the time. A young Billy LaRue. Yeah, that was a really fun team to watch. That's me clicking my toes, by the way, not dropping bombs. Jack wants me to support the Brumbies. I would probably support an Aussie team because they haven't won it in bloody ages. It would be nice to see an Aussie team win it. Stephen's just tuning in how the mighty have fallen. We've had a bunch of disallowed tries. For context. Is it 2 or 3? But yeah. And a red card. So we're not going to win, but yeah. 4 disallowed tries. Okay. I can't even remember them all at this point. The amount of disallowed tries is kind of comical for the Blues. Yeah. Or if you include the held up as well, then yeah, for sure. Still not over, says Gareth. Wow. Yeah, I guess technically. Still 11 minutes to go. We're right on our own goal line, though, and it's a Reds line out. The Reds are going to maul it this time. This maul's going over, folks. Yeah, it's a try to the Reds. I don't think they'll chalk it off somehow. It's just trucking forward. Blues guys just get splintered. Yeah. Yeah, Gareth, I think it's over, sadly. But oh well. The Blues couldn't even win a friggin' line out, so we don't deserve to win. Good kick from Liner. 35-14. It's become a bit of a hiding. Bit of a hiding. Yeah, bonus point. We almost beat the Crusaders last week. I thought this game would be closer. Time is back on. There's less than 10 minutes to go. Is that the final nail in the coffin? Yeah, Blues aren't scoring 3 tries in 9 minutes. Yeah, no. Oh, Matthew. Matthew signed up for the membership thing. Thank you, mate. Makes me feel a bit better. Joe Campbell's got some claret on his leg. Took a wee knock after his kick. Sounds Sullivan, a bit overzealous. Jules, I think it's just on the... next to the subscribe button, I think. Oh, whoa, Matthew's just gifted 10 people memberships. What a fella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's even a Morgan in there. Look at that. Cheers, Matthew, mate. What a guy. You're certainly better than my Blues right now. Oh, my stream's just shit itself again. It doesn't want me watching this. It's been a tough season. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. Alright, let's reset the stream. Have the Blues scored a miracle try in the 10 seconds I've not been watching the game? No. No, we haven't. But there's a knock on, so we get to have a scrum. Whoever went with the Reds in Super Rugby Fantasy will be doing well. This is true. Disallowed tries, Stephen. Yes. Held ups and TMOs. We had a few of them. But we also just couldn't catch a friggin' cold at line-out time. So, I don't know what to say. Some knock-ons there, and we've not exactly played the greatest rugby that's deserving of an away win in Brisbane. Still no Kiwi win in Australia. That's a full arm this time. Bodie, make sure you find touch. He did it. Good man. Rian's back from a lunch. What'd you get for lunch, Rian? What does the Johannesburg lunch run look like? Blues have won a line out. I don't believe it. We're in the Reds 22 again. Oh, you went for a run. I thought you mean like you ran out to get lunch and then you came back. But you actually ran at lunchtime. Okay, that's how you stay in peak condition for your YouTube. Have we just scored a try? Anton Segner has just gone over for a try? We've just taken the bonus point off the Reds. Wow, they actually managed to drive over. It's not held up, and Vern's shaking his head. Why does Vern look more pissed off now than when we were losing by more? They are playing Rick Astley. Listen to that. Is there a reason we couldn't do this for the previous 70 minutes? Yeah, we struggled to get any go forward over the Reds in the last 70-odd minutes. Obviously, he had a bet on the Reds. Yeah, maybe. That's just taken away Vern's multi, I guess. Zahn with the big kick. What beers am I on? The cheap ones, the old Tuies. Three minutes to go, folks. Can the Blues score 2 tries in 3 minutes to take us to Super Point? There's a forward pass. They need to set the scrum very fast. Was the Kiwi player pool stretched a bit thin? We definitely lose a lot of our fringe All Blacks overseas. That's for sure. Still not sure if Segner should try and compete for an All Black spot or just declare for Germany and use experience to lift the German national team. I don't see Segner as an All Black anytime soon, eh? But I mean, if he declares for Germany, then yeah, I don't know how much time he would get to play for them because I don't think the Blues would release him. Like, French clubs always get a lot of shit about not releasing players, but they release the most of their players, like Georgians and like Portuguese guys and whatnot. Like, every now and again, some Fijian guy will stay and not play for Fiji or something, and it'll make the news. But oh, we could have had a grandstand finish. Blues have just knocked it on. But I don't think New Zealand clubs are very good about guys who play overseas playing for our Super Rugby clubs. Was he tackled before he got the ball? I think Vern might have just sworn. Oh, we're not getting any checks our way this week, folks. It's going to be a scrum and that'll be game. Haven't had a tui in a while. They don't do the trivia anymore, which sucks. You need a TMO check for our members. That's a good call. I just made a bunch of Gaz's pictures, but I will do that. TMO check. There we go. We'll reset the scrum. That's a good way to finish the game. I'm calling it this game's bull crap. And I'm not a Blues fan. McCright's playing, Riam, but Wilson's injured, I think. Well, the Reds, are they going to chase the bonus point? Or just kick it out? Because they can't lose. But they are right on their own goal line. It's a penalty. The suffering will not end. Okay, the Reds have just run it out. Okay. Well, we lost the Battle of the Purple. I think our season's pretty much in tatters, folks. Yeah, well done to the Reds. They scored their tries. I mean, we had a few held up and we did well during the red card period, but geez, we dropped some ball and the line out was a bit shit. So yeah, I don't know that either team's going to be that happy with the performance levels, but the result-wise, the Reds will be chuffed because they just put a graphic on the screen earlier about how many away games the Reds have got coming up, and there's like 3 in a row, so definitely much needed. But yeah. Sometimes it's hard to support the Blues, but hey, we won it last year, so I can't be selfish. You can't win it every year or just 2 years in a row. But yeah, I'm going to watch. There's a big game tomorrow morning, my time. Bulls in Glasgow. In, as Hanjo says, the substandard URC game. So I think it's second against third in the URC. So that should be a pretty good game. I think it's on at 6:30. So I better go to bed and watch that game because I reckon that one could be a cracker. And I'll try and forget about my Blues because we were not very good. Not very good. Anyway, thank you folks for being here and all the people who joined into the Gazamania membership team thingy. I will see if I can get my dad to stay for a stream tomorrow, but as I've said earlier, I get the feeling he doesn't want to stay because he thinks the weather is going to be crap. If it's fine, I might be able to convince him to stay and watch whichever game is on at 7 o'clock. But yeah, you guys all take care of yourselves, and yeah, I will hopefully catch you guys for another one at some point soon. Take care, folks.